Hey guys, been an interesting week. We've been moving house at the moment, so hence why there's trash absolutely everywhere. Um, I'm gonna put up my practice routine my what I got up to this week in practice. I'm gonna put that here, block out the Costco bag, so that you can see what I've been up to. Obviously, didn't quite get as much done as I would have done in a normal week because of the move. Also, I got a tournament coming up this weekend, so as you can see, most of the practice was around that. I did a lot more hours of playing. That was for the practice round. A couple of practice rounds I did, and a few more hours of just sort of regular practice, which was mostly putting, to be honest, to prepare for that. But anyway, get into the video, show you what I did this week. So this is a recovery session I was doing on a recovery day before I went out and did the practice rounds, because I knew that was going to be a lot of work playing multiple rounds in one day. I'm not going to talk through too much about what these are because I am not a professional on these things really. I had a bad shoulder from an old golf injury, and I basically just compiled some shoulder mobility exercises from some baseball videos, because there seemed to be a lot of shoulder focus on that because of pitching and throwing and things like that. So I'm doing 10 reps on each side for all of these. I'm just kind of skipping through them a bit faster though, because otherwise this will be long and boring. But I'm trying to do this sort of 2-3 times a week really, and do manage to do that most of the time. I sort of prioritize this as my gym work really, because I do a lot of throwing. So if I do a lot of throwing and don't focus on my shoulder care, then it starts to hurt and get bad. So if you want to copy all of these, feel free. I'm not gonna as I said, I'm not going to talk through exactly how to do them or what muscles they're targeting, because I'm not a professional. But if people want to know that, then I can do some research and then put out a video on that. So if you want to know that, then the details of this, then let me know. But yeah, this is, I think it's about 5 exercises, and I'm doing this about 3 times a week. It normally takes me about half an hour, 30 minutes to go through them, so not too bad really. This one's one I just kind of made up to kind of stretch out more the front side of my shoulder. I've seen this done sort of up against a wall, but I kind of like these ones using the balls. I just find it a bit easier to get into a position where there's more stretch. Now, this next one was given to me by Nick, specifically for what we're working on in my form. I struggle to get my arm up high and get my shoulder in the correct position. So this is just sort of strengthening those weak muscles, mostly the supporting muscles. That is probably what's causing me to have a hard time to hit the positions that I want to in the pocket. If you have any weaknesses in your body and you think that they're leading to struggles with form, Nick covers these things on his coaching program. So if you sign up to his program, he'll give you specific exercises that are good for what you're working on in your form. You can see there I was just sort of resetting the shoulder position. That's important to do to make sure that you're doing it right. Okay, next day. This is just a few little clips from the practice round that I did and posted. So if you're interested in seeing that, go watch it. If you've already watched it and you enjoyed it, let me know, because I actually really enjoyed filming it. And it was good fun editing rounds as well. So if you want to see me play a bit more golf, then just let me know and I will try to do that. But yeah, looking forward to this tournament at the weekend. I don't get to play a lot of wooded golf, so really looking forward to playing this course. Yeah, should be good.
3 days later.
This is going to be a bit of a tough video, I think. So, after a really solid couple of months working on the first form changes I made, and seeing some serious progress in the form and the speed and distance, all of that, and then the last 2 weeks working solidly on these new form changes, starting to feel really good about it. I decided to come out here last night and throw the TechDisc and see where we're at. And it didn't go well at all, so I'm going to show you that, and then we're going to talk about it a bit. So, what actually went wrong? Number one, it was too soon, really. I was trying to throw hard and at full power when my body just wasn't comfortable enough with the changes yet to be able to do that. So my timing just fell off. I just wasn't getting it right. So it was too soon, really, to be doing that. And I think I knew that, to be honest. And I just wanted to get out there and throw really hard and do something good for the content, to be honest. But here we are. We'll need to give it a bit more time and try again. Number two was the form itself. So the things I've been working on were looking pretty good, but I could see that from trying to keep that hyzer tilt angle all the way through the shot, I was keeping this angle through as I turned as well, and so I was kind of chasing the disc through the pocket, so I was losing that snap instead of stopping and letting the disc pass me. So I think that's the main thing that was causing me to actually lose power and why it felt so terrible, really, to be honest. And then number three really is just perspective. Like, how bad really was it? I mean, I think I'd been on an upward climb for a while, so I was expecting to see that average, be above that 57. So I was expecting to see lots of 58s, 59s, 60s, 61s, 62s, maybe even a new personal best, a 63, something like that. That's what I was expecting to see. However, my best for the day was still mid 59s, I think it was. And I really wasn't that far off where I was a couple of months back. It just wasn't quite where I was in the last few weeks. So I'll show my trends I'll show my averages for this session, and then my averages for previous sessions, and show, yeah, it's not where I was in the last couple of weeks, but it's showing that my ceiling's gone up, but also my floor's come up. So if I'm having a bad session and I'm still averaging 55 miles an hour, that's still way better than I was a few months ago. So that's the perspective thing. And a friend of mine, James, made a similar post the other day showing how far he had come in a couple of years. And I think it's important to look back and remember, even when your form doesn't look how you want it to, how far you've come in a long way, or how far you've come over a longer period of time, rather than just, my form doesn't look perfect 2 weeks after I started working on something. So here's an image of my form back in July last year. So that's 11 months ago. And then here's where we're at now. So this is what I'm talking about with the perspective. It's tough when you look at it every day and only see tiny improvements, but when you look at it long term, you can sort of get a better perspective on how much you've improved. And that's the difference in when I was throwing max just over 300 feet versus where I am now. So that's good motivation to continue with the work, really. And the next question is, what are we going to do about it? So the next day I was pretty disheartened, but I was also feeling very motivated. So got out, went to the gym, lifted really heavy weights, get my anger out. That's like my favourite way of sort of rebooting everything and getting my motivation back. And then I went out, did some overspeed training, which I've videoed and will be in my next video. And then, yeah, I'm slightly rethinking the way I'm going to do this week's training. I'm going to do less time working on the form work itself because I'm feeling pretty happy with how those positions are looking. I'm just not super happy with how I'm applying them to my throwing. So I'm going to try to spend more time this week focusing on the timing and actually just applying the sort of power to these new form changes. So should be a much more interesting week for watching. Going to be a lot more throws and hopefully start to see things working in the right direction again. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I said I was going to post the positives and the negatives, show the whole journey here. So thanks for sticking through this video, and hopefully you enjoyed seeing the reality of what training's like. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.